Hey, I'm Arlo Parks, I'm at Amoeba, and this is What's in My Bag.
Talking for hours on the gravel, letting our backs burn. Walking to boxes, linking pinkies, wearing matching pearl. And now I'm struggling, I'm choking up without the word. Hope you know that.
So the first thing I picked up is this Sufjan Stevens record. It's kind of outtakes and remixes and demos from my favorite record, which is Carrying Lowell. There's this one particular demo of John My Beloved that I listened to relentlessly on tour.
Beloved of John, I get it all wrong. I read you for some kind of stone.
Melancholy mixed with gentleness, and obviously this record is kind of a way that he was processing his grief and loss and reflecting back over his life. And especially, I think, demos and outtakes, hearing like breath and like a little bit of buzz on the guitar. And there's something that I really love about this particular record. And I have everything else from him except for this.
Suppose the world was not informed by real estate or power lines.
Next up, we have the iconic White Pony by Deftones. I would say my favorite song, probably Digital Bath. I think the drums on there and the warmth and how relentless the instruments are, but then how like sweeping Chino's voice is, and that marriage is something that's always really moved me. Yeah, brings me back to my angsty teen years, just being like, no one gets it. Next up, we have Black Metal 2 by Dean Blunt.
Another day, save it for another day.
I'm a massive fan of Dean Blunt and Babyfather and all the other aliases. There's this particular song on here called The Rot that I think my friend showed me when we were going on a really, really long drive, and I found his access to vulnerability and the kind of like monotone quality of his voice really moving, especially in the kind of more experimental indie music scene. To see a Black person that takes references from so many different genres and is just so completely himself is super inspiring.
I told you to leave, but you never do it.
Now, next we have a very, very special record. It's the Sophie record. It's Oil of Every Pearl's Inside. This record represents freedom and adventure and queer joy and queer euphoria. In particular, what I love about Sophie is that she was just so completely herself. She was so individual and brought so many people together. So many friends that I know came together in community listening to Sophie's music in dance spaces, in clubs, underground nights in London, in LA, in New York. Sophie was such a big part of what made people feel safe and brought people together. So I had to honor her by picking this one.
Just know you've got nothing to hide. It's okay to cry.
This record, we have 50 Years of Arthur Verocai. I discovered Arthur Verocai actually through Bad Bad Not Good. There's this song in particular called Na Boca do Sol, which, again, it just makes me feel happy. I feel like sometimes you have to pick records that just pull that emotion out of you so simply. And every time I listen to that or Sylvia, I just feel completely moved, and it reminds me of sunshine and happiness. So I was very, very excited about this one. It's Arthur Russell, but it's kind of the collection of the Dinosaur L stuff and Loose Joints bits and pieces. Is It All Over My Face is definitely one of my favorite. I don't really dance, I'm not that good at it, but it makes me want to.
Is it all over?
Arthur Russell in particular, I couldn't say it to your face, to me, is one of the most simple and heartbreaking songs to ever exist. I watched the documentary and you can just see it in his eyes. There's this real sensitivity and this almost like wounded quality, but he makes the most beautiful music. It's music to soundtrack like Transition, I think, and Journeys.
I couldn't say it to your face, but I won't be around anymore.
Okay. This is Keyboard Fantasies by Beverly Glenn Copeland.
Welcome the spring and the summer rain. Softly turn to sing again.
There's a song on here called Avenue. It feels like one of those songs I've always known. But Avenue and Let Us Dance have this almost childlike sense of innocence that just makes me feel like I'm like running through the prairies or somewhere out in the countryside. I played it to my girlfriend and Let Us Dance is like one of her favorite songs now. And it just reminds me of her.
Let us dance down the road.
Needs no introduction. Daniel Johnston, the one and only.
I got a nervous love, and worry is all that I do.
Nervous Love became really important to me because even though it's such a short song, it's just such a little fragment, there's something so timeless about it, and I actually mentioned it in one of the tracks that I wrote for this new record. Person making music in their little corner of the world, almost just untouched and uninfluenced by any sense of wanting to be cool or wanting to be seen. It was just a person making music in their little bubble, and that's so inspiring to me. It's a place that I try and tap into when I'm making things.
I am walking the couch.
Okay, this I am so excited about, like unreasonably excited about. Basically, this compilation record of like rare and unreleased recordings that Mort Garson has done, and it said that there are like theme tunes for science fiction films, never aired radio advertisements, and just random little oddities from the 60s and 70s. But Mort Garson made the record Plantasia, which is something that I listen to almost every day. It was like on my Spotify most listened to. It's literally just music for plants, just little like plips and plops, and just like I put it on when I'm on my way back from the studio and I need like brain toothpaste. That's what I call it. It just like completely like washes me out and I feel so fresh. I'm gonna end on this one, MBV. Who Sees You, I think, is my favorite track from this record. I've been listening to it almost every day, and it's that combination of real chaos and intensity, and it feels like this wave of sound just crashing onto you relentlessly. But then with Belinda's vocals, she feels like she's floating above the chaos, and there's something kind of comforting about that. And My Bloody Valentine, I think, teach me to embrace chaos. They teach me that things can be messy and just raw emotion that you don't have to smooth out. And I think my music in the past has had more of a sense of control to it, but I think tapping into the My Bloody Valentine wave and just allowing things to sweep me up and embracing chaos is something that I want to do more.
Thank you so much for shopping with us today.
Of course, of course.
Amoeba.